the role that AI is playing, not just in growing fandom, but in marketing. I'm sure your new edition is going to be weaving in some of that understanding. Share with us what, from your perspective, what's important and what we should know.
Yeah, 100%. You're absolutely right. The new ninth edition of the New Rules of Marketing and PR, brand new chapter on AI and AI throughout the whole thing. The last edition does have a lot about AI, but it was done pre-Chat GPT, so it was done pre what the essentially explosion in artificial intelligence
Right.
over the last couple of years. I think artificial intelligence is transforming all business, but certainly marketing in the same way that the internet and social media blew up marketing. It is utterly transformational. I think that that marketers who don't understand artificial intelligence probably won't have jobs in a while. Yes, artificial intelligence may remove some jobs, but those tend to be repetitive jobs. But for those people who understand artificial intelligence, how to use it to make marketing better, they will have immense opportunities in the coming years and decades. It's just going to be already is being transformational for marketing and for sales and for public relations and anything related to how you get your ideas and thoughts into the marketplace and how you understand customers and how to get them to understand what you're doing and hopefully become fans. I do think, however, that all of the old-fashioned, if you will, things that worked AI are also super important, and in many cases, even more important. And I think, Seth, the work you're doing and the work that meeting planners around the world are doing, I think is even more important. And let me say why. Because with artificial intelligence, with something like the Sphere in Las Vegas, with the incredible technology, there's so much in our world now that's on our phones, it's in our computers that you can go to and see in an unbelievable experience like the Sphere was, that human element, the human approach becomes even more important. My prediction is that everyone in this listening or watching to this podcast right now, your jobs are going to become even more important with artificial intelligence because as more communications becomes artificially intelligentized, I don't know if that's a term, I just made it up, it means that the true human connection will become that much more important. Your in-person conference will become way more important because of artificial intelligence. People will need that human connection. They will need, I talked about earlier, this idea of proximity to other humans, the idea that I can have a conversation over a glass of wine at the reception. I can have a conversation over a cup of coffee at the morning coffee break. I can hear a keynote speaker, maybe shake their hand at the end of the conference and share a few words. That is super powerful. That human touch, that human connection, that bringing people together, that building a tribe of fans becomes even more important in a world of AI. So I celebrate and thank everyone who's listening in and you, Seth, for doing the work that you're doing because this human connection is even more important in a world of AI.
David, you must be listening in on some of our previous podcasts. Recently, we had a gentleman who brought ChatGPT to market, a guy named Zach Cass, and we were having the same conversation. I called it the other AI, analog intelligence, where it's a shaking hand, it's looking you in the eye,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
smirk, a knowing glare, both turning our head because something cool, some activation was happening, or the keynote was about to start. I don't know if the word is tremble, but it causes me to pause when I hear a lot of people use the word transformation. It might be overused, but I think it's understated because transformation is like replacing something from nothing. Like it's a new metaphor. It's a whole new realm. It's not changing the cabinets in your kitchen or painting your car. It's completely reconstituting, like at the cellular level, something and transforming it. I mean, even losing weight is a change. It can be transformative in your being, but it's not the end game. What I've heard, and I'd like to get your take on this, and I'm going to land the plane here. We're coming to the end in a bit, is often I'm hearing with AI and with virtual and hybrid events that if a keynote speaker is doing something that's what we'll call the 100 level or freshman level class, they shouldn't do it in person. There could be an
Hmm.
argument for that. There could be, there's validity and, definitely give weight to that. But like you said, getting in the audience like Magic Johnson does, and like our dear recently passed friend Bill Walton did, and like you do, and touching and connecting, there's something deeper about the message, the spark, the inspiration. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. When we were doing our research for Fanocracy, there's no doubt that our brains are wired that way. It goes back thousands of generations. I mean, back in the caves, I mean, it's a silly metaphor, but back in cave days, if you were with your tribe of people, 50 people around the campfire, you were safe and secure. The animals couldn't get you, and another tribe came. You've got your tribe there to help you. You go out in the woods by yourself, you feel nervous. It's still true today. It's hardwired in our brains. So the idea of what we do to bring people together into a physical room somewhere and have an event, a conversation, a series of conversations where people are physically together can literally build that tribe around the campfire feeling in people. And that you cannot replicate using artificial intelligence. Sure, I just shared an idea about mirror neurons, and there's elements of it, but the fundamental aspects of human beings coming together is hardwired in our species,
Yeah.
and it's important. And we can't lose track of that importance when we're working with the executives that we work with, the people who are helping us to ensure that these kind of events continue on, because people without it will feel like they're missing something. I bring it back to this idea of music, and I think I'm up to, I didn't do the calculations from this past weekend, but something like 970 live music concerts since I was 15 years old, 100 and what is it, 10 Grateful Dead concerts since I was 17 years old. And it's part of that is being together with other humans doing the same thing, dancing and laughing and cheering on our favorite musicians. That's not going away. In fact, I think
No.
it's even becoming bigger. Concert
Yeah.
tickets are selling more than they ever have. In a world of AI, in a world of virtual, more people are going to concerts than they ever have. The same thing needs to be true about our business, and it's up to us to make that happen.
And you mentioned the word campfire, and there was a term, campfires in cyberspace. But let's not forget that the campfire, the actual campfire, metaphorically speaking, is where the richness, where the stories were told on the cave wall, and there was a fire, and from Aristotle and the Socratic method, and in Rome, and on, and of course in written form. But how that connective tissue is so important.